did it feel to actually run in a game?
Oh, no, yeah, it felt awesome. I mean, that North Texas game marked 23 months to the day until I got hurt. And which was the crazy thing is I was reading Psalms 23 like that entire week, and it was just like a God moment for me. Go out and just do your thing. And, that's exactly what happened. I didn't have the most carries I ever got, but, 6 carries for 41 yards isn't too bad, I would say. And one of those got called back, and another one I got stuffed at the line. So, it felt awesome just to get back out and play with the guys. I had more fun than I really ever had.
Obviously, there was a long build-up to that game. I mean, kind of going into it, was there still maybe a little bit, hey, I'll see how I'm feeling, or were you just like, first play, like, oh, I feel good, I'm running?
Yeah, I mean, so I talked with my brother actually that day, and we kind of went through some mindset stuff, and he was like, so what kind of questions are you having? And I was like, well, the one question right now is, am I going to perform like I did before I broke my ankle? And, we walked through a whole process of just kind of destroying that question. And, when I took the field, I had all confidence I was going to be completely fine. And I was like, I'd practiced all through spring, practiced all through fall. It's held up. I got no reason not to be confident. So walked in there, I got my first carry. I got blown up for sure. I got my bell rung a little bit, but man, it felt really, really good. It felt super awesome.
Outside of, getting blown up the first play, was your vision like you kind of remembered it and able to find the holes and things like that?
That's what really impressed me just about myself, was like how I used to be whenever I was my old self in a way. When I was running, like when it came to my vision, it was like I was moving at this speed, but everything around me and everyone that was trying to tackle me was moving at such a slower speed than I was. And when it comes to like having that during the play and having that advantage, my vision just was on par. And I felt like, to me, my vision was probably even better than what it was before, because everything is just slowed down. I'm moving at such an incredible speed to me. So really, being in that game, I was just in the zone. I felt like my vision was all there. It was awesome.
Speaking of speed, when you kind of reflect on the 23 months, does it feel like it lasted very, very long? Does it feel like 23 months? Were there moments where we quit?
Yeah, I can't tell you. I mean, the story, everyone knows the story, but it was crazy, because I obviously did have a lot of doubts in my mind, and questioned myself on how much I really love football. When you have an injury like that, I remember the day like it was yesterday. I looked down and my ankles turned sideways. Gosh, man. Mm-hmm. So, when you talk about time, like, yeah, I guess it was a long time, but it still feels like yesterday that it happened. But, going through all the doubt and going through all the trials and tribulations to get to where I'm at now, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I've learned a lot just in the past 2 years that gave me so much wisdom on where I'm at, not just as a football player, but as a man and maybe a future husband and future father someday. So, I wouldn't trade any of that for the world.
Is there, you mentioned not the most carries you've ever had. It's obviously a deep running back room.
Yeah.
Is that something where you kind of have to, be ready every time, but know that there are 4, maybe 5 guys that are going to be rotating?
Yeah, so, the great thing about it is, we do have a really strong running back room. But I guess when it comes down to, going in, we've obviously had some guys who have kind of gotten, tweaked up or hurt. Like, for example, Velton didn't play last game because he had an issue with his eye. I just seek the opportunity at that point. If we got a guy down, I'll step in. I'll take in the carries and, give me the ball. So, we do have a deep running back room, and it gives us a lot of strength because, if a guy goes down, then we don't even have to blink an eye. It's like, all right, next guy's up, and we're rolling. But, my goal is obviously to be back where I started. And, I started at the starting position my sophomore year. So my goal is always to get back up to that spot. And, no offense to Trey. I love Trey to death, and, he's got that spot right now. But he knows every day that I'm competing to get there. So, the whole running back room are a really close-knit group. We all love each other. There's not really any beef between us guys, who's getting more reps and whatnot. We all love each other, and we're glad that we got the running back room we got, because there's a lot of strength and a lot of different diversity between the backs.
You've been a part on a team with a bunch of impressive season opening wins. How did this one feel from a team perspective?
I mean, from a team perspective, it was pretty awesome to, I guess, witness really our defense, because our defense just manhandled those guys. You know, watching from the sideline, it really almost felt like we had probably one of the best defenses we've had, since the years I've been here at least. So really getting to watch them was really, really awesome. And then offensively, we were just rolling. We just out-athleted them, outplayed them. You know, when you put a whooping on a team that bad, it feels really, really good. So you go in the next day feeling really good. And then we got Lamar this week, obviously. And, you know, I would like to try to stay humble in these moments, just because, you know, we are playing a team that is probably not as good as the team we just played. But the last thing we can do is walk in there thinking that we just own this team. You know, next thing you know, they're giving us a ball game. So we got to go in there with humble hearts and really just take it to them and do the same thing we did with North Texas and just execute our plays.
And that's a challenge in itself. Right?
That is a challenge in itself now, for sure. It's, you know, I think we did a really great job against North Texas of just executing and doing, and every guy doing their job. Whenever everyone's doing their job, you know, plays are getting made. No matter who's catching the ball or running the ball, you know, we're scoring touchdowns, and that's awesome. A win is a win. And you know, when we play Lamar, if we can get the same thing done, we'll walk out with a W for our first home game, which feels really, really good.